Hello, everyone. Welcome to GNU According to CD, that is Government of National Unity. So, guys, the Police Portfolio Committee had a meeting yesterday, I believe, and some things were revealed by a member of parliament. Basically, making accusations of police officers that are involved in serious and heinous crimes. I mean, we have spoken about this on this channel before, even though we may not have the evidence to produce, but it does not mean that in our communities we don't see them. We see them with the state cars when they come into our communities, basically to either extort criminals, work with criminals, or even be involved in criminality themselves. Hence, I have said that I feel like the South African police service needs to be overhauled. And when you overhaul this particular department, I mean, let's start from scratch, because if we start from scratch, we are going to get men and women that are going to serve and enforce the law. Like, really, honestly speaking, I was sick to my stomach when I heard that this is actually happening. I mean, to think that he has names of police officers and somebody who got promoted who has a dark cloud over their head. And still, the South African Police Service deemed it fit to promote these individuals despite the accusations of serious crimes. Now, there was a concern that one of the member of parliament said, no, let's not discuss this because we're going to reveal too much, because this is on the public platform, the meeting of the police department. Let's rather I think they were proposing that they rather have it in what do you call this, in private, so that the people that are implicated do not hear what is the way forward, and also probably how to catch them. But I feel like the chairperson, Ian Cameron, was like, you know what? We are going to have this discussion, but after the National Commissioner of Police, what's his name, Masemula, he, after he has dropped his own report and all of that stuff. uh, yeah, we are still on extortion. I understand it's important to talk about this, but I feel like there's more than extortion that the South African police should be focusing on. What about the white powder on our streets? What about that? Because I feel like equally to extortion, they should also be grappling with that head on. Then us hearing that, oh, a mule was caught at the OR Tambo International Airport, but the streets, that's where you're going to find the white powder. I mean, I think maybe it's about time as well that the South African police visited a court and then sought for a search warrant for every house in South Africa to be searched. Because I think if they can do that, the amount of chemists that they are going to find, and I'm talking about white powder manufacturing chemists all over South Africa, there will be people who will actually be held criminally liable. Same goes with apartments, and you name them. This, we need to be aggressive with the fight that is on our hands when it comes to white powder. They are destroying our communities. They are destroying the future of South African kids, the future of this country. If you think that rare skills or critical skills is anything to go by, can you imagine when no South African child even goes beyond matric, immediately when they are done, while they are still at school, get hooked on white powder? What future will there be in South Africa? Because from now on, we'll be outsourcing skills, because no South African child or any product that is coming from our education system will now run the country. Hmm? Have we ever thought about that? But now, no, we are focusing on extortion. Yes, 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 yes. They need to be caught and thrown in jail, the extortionists. But then again, this is supposed to be a lesson when it comes to this tender situation. The tender situation, I have never liked it before. I don't think I'll ever support it. I understand its concept because it's not only practiced here in South Africa, it's practiced almost all the countries in the world. But I would like the government to be in control of things on its own without outsourcing. BEE, who have how many of us black people can we say this BEE policy has ever worked for us? I mean, did it ever come knocking at your door as a black person? I don't think so. So now, why are we nursing something that is not benefiting us, but only benefiting the people that are politically connected to the ANC? Let's be frank about that. The people that have benefited from BEE, triple BEE, quadruple BEE, sextuplet BEE, or whatever BEE that they've created, only the politically connected to the ANC that have benefited, not us. Not us. So now when you have people actually fighting and saying, no, that policy must be kept, who is it benefiting? Who is it benefiting? Because now out of it, it has created a problem. It and the tenderpreneurs. It has created a problem of extortionists. So no. For me, I feel like, but then again, before we can actually clean our house, we need to clean the dirt that is in our communities that were never invited. That's what we need to do. But we are on the right track, I think. That is, if all this is real. If everything that we are seeing is real, then we're on the right track. But once we are done with them, have left our country, then we need to talk about these serious issues. We need to talk about these real issues, even if it means we form a class action, because this is a promise that was given to black people. When a promise is broken, you can take the person who promised you to court. Maybe some reparations from BEE that we never got the opportunity to benefit from. Those are the things that we need to talk about. That referendum, there's a lot that needs to be added on, more than just 5 questions that we are going to vote on. So many things that we need to discuss in that referendum when one day we decide to do it. For now, let's get rid of the rot of our communities, the rot that's coming from somewhere else. That rot that's coming from somewhere else. Let's get rid of that first, and then we come back and we have a conversation. That also includes the so-called South Africans. You know, oh husband Makoti. Yeah, it must be in the referendum, oh husband Makoti. There's no way that a man marries into a woman's house or family and then he now takes or lives with his in-laws. Where have you heard that in an African culture? Because the woman assumes or goes out of her parents' house to her husband's family. But in South Africa, no, it's free for all. All of these things we need to talk about so that they never ever have to happen again to our country. Anyways, those are my thoughts, but here we go. This is what was discussed in that police portfolio committee yesterday.
But just a point of concern, because when that story hit the media this morning, I was more than concerned, because I've got a list of very, very senior people in SAPS that appear to be implicated in kidnapping, cash in transit heights, drug dealing, and various other things. And my concern right now is that as we sit here, these people know what we're discussing. And the chair can probably confirm that when you connect the dots of the information that I have, it appears to be very, very credible. So my concern right here, Chair, is that whatever we discuss here will in all probability go to the wrong people by the end of the day. And that is a serious, serious issue, because the credibility of SAPS is at stake here. What's left of the credibility of SAPS. So I'm seriously concerned about that issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Adams.